If you keep allowing toxic people into your mind, don't be surprised when peace leaves your life. But what if I told you, you only need to do one thing, and they will never bother you again? This is not about revenge. It's about rising so high, they can't even reach you anymore. When you make that decision once, just once with full conviction, you will find that toxic people begin to disappear. Not because you fought them, but because they no longer find nourishment in your presence. Mastery is not about fighting chaos. It's about becoming untouchable to it. Becoming untouchable through focus. There is a phenomenon in neuroscience known as selective attention. It means your brain filters out everything that doesn't align with your focus. When your focus is on growth, you stop reacting to bait. You stop falling into emotional traps. You don't even notice when people try to stir conflict. Why? Because your energy is tuned to a higher frequency. When you become intentional about your self-development, your mind no longer has space for drama. You become emotionally inaccessible to those who once fed off your reactions. You become boring. They no longer get a reaction, and that's your victory. Peace is not passive. It is powerful. Protecting your peace is a biological imperative. This is not a luxury. It is not a privilege. Protecting your peace is a biological necessity. Science shows us that chronic stress breaks down the body. It accelerates aging, weakens the immune system, and disrupts your sleep and memory. And one of the most common sources of this stress, toxic relationships. Chronic stress and toxic relationships. Your nervous system is not built to be in constant conflict. If your body is always anticipating the next argument, the next manipulation, the next emotional ambush, you are not thriving. You are surviving. You don't owe anyone access to your nervous system. That space is sacred. Stop compromising with dysfunction. The day you start choosing peace, you stop compromising with dysfunction. You stop shrinking yourself just to keep others comfortable. You stop tolerating conversations that leave you tense and depleted. You start valuing your own alignment more than anyone else's approval. And as this shift happens, your brain rewires. Your mind begins to associate safety with internal balance, not external validation. That is when you take your power back quietly, steadily, completely rewiring your brain for peace. Growth happens in silence. In this age of performance and validation, we've been conditioned to broadcast every step. But the most profound growth, it happens in silence. This is not just poetic, it is scientific. Neuroplasticity. The brain's ability to rewire itself requires two things: repetition and space. Silence gives your nervous system time to recalibrate. It gives your identity room to evolve. Like a seed breaking open in the dark earth, your transformation begins in private. You are not hiding. You are building. You are not escaping. You are upgrading. Why? Toxic people can't handle your silence. Toxic people thrive in emotional chaos. They crave control through reaction, but your silence starves that pattern. They will feel the change. Not because you announced it, but because they no longer know how to reach you. You don't speak the same emotional language anymore. What used to trigger you no longer gets a response. What once pulled you in now repels you. And the best part, you didn't have to fight. You simply evolve. Let your results speak, not your words. There's a concept in neuroscience called salience. It's the brain's way of detecting what matters most by ignoring what doesn't. In life, it works the same way. As you grow, people stop listening to your words and start watching your outcomes. When your actions align with your truth, when your boundaries become habits, when your silence becomes strength, you no longer need to explain yourself. You become undeniable. You begin to radiate self-trust. Your energy shifts, and people notice even without you saying a word. Toxic people lose power over you the moment you stop justifying yourself. They thrive in the space between your intentions and your actions. If you say you want peace, but continue engaging with chaos, they will exploit that gap. But when your behavior becomes consistent, calm, and non-reactive, there's nothing left to manipulate. All they see is your distance, your clarity, and your unwavering discipline. That is true power. Consistency, the end of manipulation. There is a powerful principle in psychology known as coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions all move in the same direction. When you live in internal coherence, you operate from clarity. Your nervous system settles. Your decision-making sharpens. You stop leaking energy into things that drain you. You no longer chase closure. You no longer explain boundaries. You simply walk in truth, and life begins to mirror that truth back to you. Coherence. When your whole life aligns, let me offer you a challenge, one that could change your life. Stop giving energy to what exhausts you. Stop fighting for the approval of people who will never understand you. Stop explaining your boundaries to those who benefit from you having none. Instead, protect your space, guard your peace, reclaim your power, because once you do this once, you'll find that toxic people no longer feel at home in your presence. The power of protecting your energy, they'll fade. Not because you banish them, but because you no longer feed them. You don't need to change everything today. Just start with one practice that regulates your nervous system. A few minutes of deep breathing, a quiet walk outside, a short journal entry, reflecting on what drains and what nourishes you. This small beginning can create massive internal change. Each choice reinforces your alignment. Each day builds on the last. Over time, this becomes your new identity, not declared, but lived, the quiet evolution of your identity. Let this be your truth. You don't need to fight for peace. You don't need to chase people or beg for respect. You only need to become the version of yourself who no longer invites disrespect, drama, or disorder. And when you do, you won't need to say anything. Your silence will speak louder than words. Your peace will echo louder than confrontation. Your life will become a temple, sacred, strong, and free, a silent community of warriors. Take the first step. Take one step today. Just one. Commit in the comments. What will you do today to reclaim your peace? Let's build a community of silent warriors, people who protect their energy, live in alignment, and never need to explain themselves again. Subscribe to this channel for more Shaolin-inspired wisdom and powerful mindset transformation.